when they shall say peace and safety, then shall show destruction come upon them. But the point of me mentioning that is because when we first heard that, we like, man, what the fuck, this shit could be the start of something like bigger than that. Alright? And then what they do, Esau double back, but we know the Most High has this man in the chest match in the world. Alright, because like I said, it's all a bigger picture to it. They doing that just for something, a harder crash to come into effect, so to speak. Alright, but that's a part of that tribulation. Alright, hoping for something to happen, and then they end up not even going your way. You know what I mean? We was expecting shit that the fan going back to 2020, 2021. It didn't happen. Alright, that's a part of your patience being worked, man. Alright, you're gonna have different upsets being in the ministry. Alright, but you can't be discouraged, man. Alright, you can't be discouraged. Alright, because then if you be discouraged by something like that, that means that you know, the truth, you're not built for the truth, in other words.
The faith is a root in Yahawashi outside.
Next time, you know. You could, bro, can you grab that scripture in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, he that endures to the end, shall be saved. I got something else for you too. This is the book of Sirach 4, and verse 28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for you. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for you. And there ain't no telling how long, you know what I'm saying, we truly got. Now, brothers speculate in the spirit. We believe by faith, through faith, that the Most High can make this shit kick off within this year. Right? Because we still got, what, a month and a half, month and some change. So it's still a lot that can happen within, you know what I'm saying, this time space of 2025. Alright? But 2026 could be that year. Right? Or it may not. The Lord may just allow this man to continue this shit to 2030. And if he do, what spirit are you gonna have to be in? You're gonna have to be in the spirit of enduring until the end. Alright, because the race is not given to the swift. You notice whenever you have a particular jakes that come into the ministry, they start off on fire like a motherfucker. You know, brothers is pushing out. And I know a few jakes that have fell out that started off on fire. You know, doing lessons, you going out to camp, Jake will be out there by himself, they camp for like 2.5 hours and shit. You know, you got brothers on the group chats, brothers communicating with everybody, and then within an instant, he just unheard of it. You know, ain't doing lessons, ain't keeping in contact with brothers, pay is dry, you know what I mean? Alright. But that's because you got certain jakes that start off too fast. This race is not given to the swift. Time is different to us than what it is to the Most High. Right? Now, does that mean that we ain't here? We literally at the window crack of this shit. You know what I'm saying? The scripture tells us in the book of Romans, the 13th chapter, our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. All right? The Most High can be having where they just for a short amount of time, just opening up the government, you know what I'm saying? So allow motherfuckers to be back drawn into that lackadaisical spirit, right? Then for that sudden destruction to come, man. Right? The Most High can have you in the spirit of since the government open back up, motherfuckers getting food stamps like, oh, hey, nothing's probably even gonna happen. Right? You can be put in that mindset. The Most High can be having the government open up for this short amount of time just for you to get in that mindset, man. And then what? Shit hit the fan. Boom, and then what? 2 months later. Alright, this is why you can't be too quick. You know what I mean? To just drop the damn cloud, man. Hell no. Alright, Jake gotta work that endurance, man. Without that endurance, how do you expect to endure? And Jacob's trouble is you can't even endure the little shit we're going through now, bro. You know what I'm saying? This shit not that hard, bro. Alright, but again, it's just a part of the tribulation. Right? Having to wait on the Lord's time, wait for this shit to happen, because in Habakkuk 2 and 3, it's a set and appointed time for everything. Appointed. You know, when you think of an appointment, you know, when brothers have an appointment scheduled, dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, whatever the case may be, job orientation, that's for a particular moment, day, week, so on and so forth. It's the same thing when it comes to these prophecies, bro. Right? They all have their particular time that they're going to take place, and you being in the mindset of maybe shit went to fan in 2027 or some longevity shit can hit the fan next week, bro. Alright? shit get the fan next week. That's when you gotta have the spirit of enduring, no matter how long the fuck we got in there. Because the reward that we have waiting after is gonna be far more greater than the tribulations that we experience on the side, including waiting. Man, when we in the kingdom, when we get all this shit that we finna receive, we're gonna be like, damn, that's all we had. We just had to wait for that damn long, man. You gonna have I was just watching the elders from Mississippi. The elder Kazak was touching up on the everlasting shame and contempt that Jake was gonna have. All right, so you got Jake, when we get in the kingdom, they're gonna be like, damn, I gave up the faith of the Lord. I flunked out of the truth. All because I couldn't wait an extra month. I couldn't wait an extra 2 months, a possible year or two, whatever the case may be. And that's, bro, just imagine how that's gonna weigh down on your conscience, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you letting down your pops. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your butt whooped from a kid up the street, and your pops find that he was disappointed in you. You know what I'm saying? That's the monster, or that's how you're gonna be disappointed in yourself when it comes to being in the kingdom, bro. Right? Yahawashi giving you all this shit, all this blessing, just for you to, just for you to flunk out. But if y'all got something, y'all can go ahead and do it.
I just want to mention this precept before the scripture says you're gonna wake up. It was like if it had been a bad dream, being in this captivity. So what is it when you wake up from a dream? And it's like that shit happened right away. It was quick. You woke up and next thing you know, it's like, damn, I had a nightmare, but that shit was what? Quick. Now you can just go on with the rest of your day. That's how the kingdom's gonna be.
Yeah, that's in the book of Psalms.
God.
So it is in the book of Psalms, it's basically gonna be like you woken up from a bad and terrible dream, and when you having a dream, at the moment it may seem like a long ass time. You running slow and shit. It's a big ass monster chasing you, just running slow. Like I remember I had a dream that the predator was chasing me. And I was in that whole like moving in slow motion and shit.
God.
Moving in slow motion, and I was scared as fuck, and it seemed like that shit lasted forever. And then I woke up and I'm like, hey, man, I'm glad that shit was over with. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're supposed to be in the kingdom. I'm like, God damn, I'm glad. Like, that shit was like, but goddamn, it seemed like a long time when we was there.
I also got another precepts for you.
Go ahead, man.
It's the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 11. Verse 12 says like it, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. So when you go into your long suffering, you're gonna be in this kingdom, suffering for a long time.
But we're gonna grab the definition for the word long suffering because could you read that up again, brother?
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering.
Put on as the elect. When Yahawashi was telling the disciples, when he was gonna come back and so on and so forth, they were in the spirit of thinking this shit was gonna happen the next day, but they ended up having to what? They ended up having to endure all the afflictions and the different troubles that they was about to have to go through. Right? But the spirit that you should be in is what? Being in the spirit as an elect member. An elect member, yeah, you're gonna be vexed with the filthy conversation on the week. You're gonna be tired of this shit. There's gonna be days that you're gonna wake up and nigga, you just want the Most High to take you from the nigga and take you in the spirit work and I'm tired of this shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you have to be long suffering, right? You have to put on as the elect, right? And the attribute that an elect member has is enduring, right? Even if it's longevity, enduring because we'll understand that, and nothing too when you come into this thing, man, you can't just drop the plow and expect, to come back in 2 years later or some shit. You can't do no shit like that, bro. Now, for some individuals, that's just, how they walk plays out. Right, but if you willingly just got that mindset of, hey, shit happening, shit probably gonna go back to being cool, so I'm gonna kick back a little bit, and whenever shit start picking up, then I'll start, you know what I mean? Nah, fuck no. That's a reprobate spirit. You have to be in the spirit of an elect member. Right? An attribute of an elect member is what? Hey, pacing himself in this damn walk. Pacing himself in this walk because every single last one of us, if you're in the right spirit, we wanted this shit to kick off yesterday. We wanted this shit to kick off yesterday, but unfortunately that ain't the case, man. You know what I mean? But we can tell just by discernment, and there's a times that we right there. We right there. All the Lord gotta do is just really have this man take some shit from these motherfuckers permanently, or just dish out his MOTD, just say fuck it, dish it out. That's all we need. Alright, if you got the definition for long.
Right here, it says in the KJV Bible, long suffering means being patient and slow to anger, especially when enduring provocations or injuries from others. It describes a person with self-restraint who does not quickly retaliate or punish, often associated with mercy and hope.
Yeah, but you have to control, you have to walk in the spirit, which is why the Lord has said, walk by faith and not by sight. You have to walk in the spirit every day being in Babylon. And the shit gets vexing being here because everything, all the tools here are used against people like us. You know what I mean? Like the scripture says, good against evil and evil against good. This place is full of nothing but corruptness and wickedness. You know what I mean? So imagine being in the spirit of life and you're running nothing but a bunch of fags and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're running nothing but a bunch of just fucking reprobates. You know, people that are just not at the grape of the cluster, in other words. That shit gets annoying. You know what I mean? You know, this shit, I can go on and on and on about what pisses me off from Babylon. But at the end of the day, that's what come with the walk. Right? That's what come with the game. Right? And with you being in the spirit of an elect member, this shit gonna piss you off that much more because you have an understanding of how things are supposed to be ran and how things are supposed to be done. Right? So when it's not like that, you know what I mean? Of course it's supposed to anger you. Because if it don't, then I mean, you in the spirit of the fucking world, bro. You supposed to be mad at this shit. Imagine you being an elect member and you cool with this shit going on. You're gonna get pissed off, but that's how much more sweeter the kingdom is gonna be, bro. The kingdom is gonna be that much more sweeter because you're not gonna see women with dudes walking around. You know, you see that shit every day, and the shit is basic. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have to worry about working, slaving, you know what I mean, and not getting your daily wages at the end of the day, getting underpaid. All right, you're not gonna have to worry about none of those things. That's why the kingdom is gonna be that much sweeter because we have to wait for it. Right? We gotta endure the trials and the tribulations that we're going through on this side in order to get that, because the scripture even tells us in the book of 2 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. All right, in order for a man to inherit that city which is built, he has to pass through the dangers thereof. All right, not just through the dangers, but through the shit that's gonna irritate you, the shit that's gonna piss you off, that's gonna hurt you, all of that shit. All right.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you.
Thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you. Me personally, I've been dealing with target issues for the past couple of months, back to back to back. Don't think that that's something just like a coincidence. That's just not a coincidence. At the end of the day, when you come into this walk, something's gonna be throwing a monkey wrenches in your walk to try to see what you're gonna do. But that's where once you deal with enough shit in this truth, that's when stoicism comes in effect. You start to adapt the stoic like mindset, like I'm gonna fucking car to blow up on me and I'm not even gonna stress about it because the Lord basically programs you to deal with that fire.
Just to edify again, Romans chapter 5, verse 3, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
That's how you know we got a different type of spirit than what other motherfuckers do.
Because look at it as training.
Who do you know besides overrooms with the elect that'll be like, who be going through some shit, some stressful shit, but we still be like, call like Yahawashi my shot. We know what we're going through is for a reason because the Most High is dealing with us. What the Lord say, He said that He chastised those whom He loves. Right? I'm gonna give you an example. me give you an example. There may be a group of kids. My son could be amongst those group of kids, right? It could be a fucking bus to come and hit him. The only one that I'm truly gonna be considered about is my son. Alright, other kids, if they get hit, boom, whatever. Right? Of course you don't want them to, but you care more about your son than what you do them, right? So you probably gonna yell at him, get your ass out the street, boom. You know what I'm saying? In a rude ass, you might even spank his ass because he made your motherfucking heart drop. You know what I'm saying?
He's not paying attention.
He's not paying attention, so you're gonna teach his ass a lesson by doing what? Spanking him on his bottom. You're gonna give his ass a ride. Right? That's how the Most High does us in the spirit, right? Right? The Most High, he'll be able to where your ribs start doing some dumb ass shit. She can piss you off. You know what I mean? You may start going through some shit at work. You know, you may start going through financial issues. Right? Financial issues start going to car issues. At the same time you having car issues, you may start having issues with your family and shit. Alright? That's the Most High putting you through the fire because ultimately we are being purified. Right? You know what I mean? Imagine being a man of the Lord and you walk into the kingdom and you're gonna say that you ain't never even been through shit. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a lame ass story. A lame ass story, and ultimately you didn't deserve it. You're gonna have to earn the kingdom, bro. That's point blank period. And earning the kingdom comes with long suffering. Much like the long suffering comes with earning the kingdom. Go ahead.
Reading on that. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 13. But rejoice in as much as they are partakers of Yahawashi's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
Oh man, glory, when his glory shall be revealed, thou shalt also be married with exceeding joy. Why? Because, bro, look, just put two and two together. They gotta use their imagination on what the kingdom gonna be like, bro. I can only paint a limited vision, you know, picture of how it's gonna be. But just imagine, even just imagine the sweet joy of being on a chariot, right, whenever the missiles is coming. You know, because Jake can talk all that shit, you know, and say that, you know, or think in their mind that when the missiles drop, boom, it's gonna be a quick second and you just gonna see black.
Hell no.
It's not gonna be shit like that. You know what I mean? You literally gonna be in that motherfucker burning from head to feet.
Yep.
You know, all the way down to the tip of your hair follicle to your damn toenail. You're gonna be burning.
You know, that's in the book of Ezekiel. It says, I will leave you there and melt you.
You're gonna be melted like how when you leave ice cream outside in the sun and that shit melt, you're gonna be like a puddle.
You're not just gonna wake up, you're gonna be left there and melted, bro. You're gonna feel that fucking flame, bro. It's not just gonna be fucking, oh, it's bad nuclear missile, I'm gonna get hit, and guess what? I'm just gonna wake up in the kingdom, that's it. Wake up in the spirit. Like,
That's because that's how niggas think.
yeah, they think it's a gunshot to the head. They think it's just boom and
Or you think you gonna kill yourself and like, nigga, the Most High, you can kill yourself and then the Most High raise your ass back up.
Yeah, raise it back up.
Burn you. You know what I mean?
It's just like that one scene of the Wizard of Oz. I don't know if the brother seen it. There's a scene where the dude pours that water, man, on the witch, and she's like, ah! Yeah. She's in pain. She's screaming and crying.
That's how it's gonna be.
Hey, the mighty men are gonna cry their bitterly also too.
And that's the spirit that he mentioned that being a witch, because the scriptures say that rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. And back then, if you were a witch, what they would do to you, they would burn you. So what is the Most High gonna do to you 2/3? He's gonna burn you, man, via the nuclear missiles. Because you guys are all what? Spiritual witches, man.
I actually put it. This is the book of. Well, I don't forget what it was, but I know it's in the book of 2 Samuel, maybe the 15th. Rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And one thing about our people, brother, Jake is disobedient as a bitch. You know, you can't tell Jake shit. And you know you can't tell Jake shit because it's irritating to even thinking about it. You can't. Jake is just hard-headed as fuck. Like, and this is why, like you niggas are gonna burn on this side, bro. Because when we're coming in here and telling you, if you're not gonna take what we're saying, like, you know, into consideration or repent, even though you see all this shit going on, then I mean, the Most High just gonna have to show you, bro. You know, cause you can't do shit with just man, what the Most High did, it's the spirit again that the Most High is bringing out, because from Mississippi was touching up on it, how the Most High shut up Jake, you know, as being rebellious in the wilderness, you know, not only with them, but with they belongings and shit too. You know what I mean? But that's what the Most High is gonna have to do to disobedient and niggas who don't want to follow the rules type shit. The Most High just gonna have to do away with you. Go ahead.
I got scripture just to edify the brother. What you said, Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi.
They will not hear it. I mean, and that don't mean that they're not gonna physically hear it, because everybody has to physically hear it.
But they're not obeying and following the law.
But through the spirit, their spirit just can't resonate with it, because ultimately they're not chosen. Right? But again, it just goes to show you why the Most High is gonna have to start over, bro. Because the majority of our people, they're not gonna get it. And do they want to? Hell no.
Hell no.
Jake don't want to get this shit. You know what I mean? This is precious rubies and fine gold, and Jake rather go have the mirth and the clay and shit.
Hey, they're living their best life here, man.
Yeah, Jake rather go here that clay and that potter's, you know, that potter's clay and shit that the Christian church teaches.
Yeah.
You know, Jake wants to hear that shit.
Hey, because it's easier. The thing is, it's easier. In order to gain, you know, these true gems, these precious stones, as the scripture liken us as, it takes hard work and dedication, man. To get clay, to get this, you know, things that the Lord don't even care about. You know, they're picking up wood and shit, using synonyms, you know, synonyms to, you know, being Christianity and these other ways of life. It's easy, bro. The world goes along with it. Being in this ministry, hey, the scriptures say that the Most High is gonna purge us and try us as gold is tried in the furnace, man. And what does that mean? That means that what? It's not easy to acquire this, you know. Well, to be honest, you know, it's not easy, but it's easy in the sense that we can do it.
Yeah, like the brother was saying, like, it's easy. You know, it's easy to go out there. There's no steps into making clay.
Right.
Go out there, get you a shovel, and dig them some damn clay.
And that's how Christianity is. You can walk in there and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Come as you are, is what they say.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Come as you are and stay as you are. Those type of shit. Yeah, come as you are, but your ass got to change.
You gotta change.
You can't come as a sodomite and stay as a
You want to
sodomite.
get that pizza?
Go get your ass burnt up. You know what I mean? But as the brother was saying, this requires work. Think about harvesting gold, right?
Exactly.
The processes that gold has to go through. You don't have to do that with clay. All you gotta do is get a shovel, dig that shit up, and get the
Throw some water on it.
throw some water and get the hair from the bowls and shit.
Yeah.
With gold, you gotta dig, you gotta dig.
You gotta burn it like 10 times.
First you gotta find this
Yeah.
shit.
First
You gotta
you gotta-
find this shit. You're not just
God.
gonna find gold anywhere. You gotta find this shit first.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta find it, then you gotta get it, you know, harvest it, put it through process, knock off impurities, and that's gonna require what? That's gonna require you to get your ass roughed up.
Yeah.
Because when gold is going and getting them impurities knocked off it, that shit is going through fire.
It goes through pride, and it's not just one time. It keeps going and going and going. This is why that precept says we glory in tribulation, because we look at it as what? As training. We don't look at it as you Jakes like in the world be like, man, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. I'll give up. I'm going back to the world. But nah, we look at it as, you know, hey, call like y'all bashing y'all shot because this is just purging something else that I don't see, man.
Yeah, because I bet you our ribs, even our ribs, bro, they probably look at us crazy.
They do.
They probably look at us crazy because we serving God, right? We serving God, we coming out and teaching, but we don't got anything, though. You know what I'm saying? They probably look at us crazy for that.
And how Job's wife was.
Yeah,
He
bro.
said what he called it. He called her a foolish woman. He said, shall not we receive good in the eyes of the Most High and not evil?
Yeah, because as a man, you should, as a man, think about it like this. As a man, you shouldn't want to have a hella easy ass
hell
fucking
no.
life.
God.
Just think about the dopamine that's released whenever you're going through some shit and you prevail through it.
Yeah, you landed.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be the same way on our walk to the kingdom, bro. We gonna have a hella dopamine spike in the kingdom, bro. Because we're dealing with all this bullshit here, but we remaining faithful, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're remaining faithful. We're willing until the end, bro.
The end.
You know what I mean? But I want to grab this one. Damn, the brother that said something I want to get first. So I don't forgot.
You want to bring it up?
I don't.
Oh, you lost it. That's
I lost my train of
So it's
thought.
1 Samuel, I'll just read it, the one that he wanted to bring out. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23, for rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High, he hath also rejected thee from being king.
Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, right? And as the brother was touching up on witchcraft, when somebody's a witch, you're supposed to get you as a birth. Right? Birth is stoned according to the law, famous state. Right? It's one of the two. No doubt about that. So when you being rebellious, right, and we don't even have to look into the definition of rebellious. Everybody knows what being rebellious is. When you being rebellious, you ain't listening. Right? You're not respecting authority. Right? So in Jake's case, Jake is not respecting the authority of Yahawashi outside, bro. Alright? And so what does that mean? That means that you gotta get your ass burnt by thermonuclear fire, by the way. Again. Right, which is not going to be the average Joe stove type of heat, lighter type of heat, incense type of heat, seatbelt buckle in the summer type of ass heat. It's not going to be that type of heat. It's going to be the heat where you seeing like with those Moabites in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, those two Japanese cities was talking about. Well, not talking Sanaki, but those two Japanese cities where Esau dropped that bomb on. They said that they were saying they skin melting off and shit.
Vaporizing like, bro, what?
Imagine you seeing your motherfucking skin just falling off. It's dangerous.
Imagine motherfuckers' shadows was
yeah, exactly, bro. That. Imagine seeing your own shadow imprinted to the floor, bro. Like how hot that shit gotta be for it to even happen, bro.
You had niggas that was in that heat. You had niggas in that heat. And what they would do is they would jump in water. They would jump in water thinking that they was gonna cool themselves off from that damn bomb. The whole time that shit was boiling hot. And it was boiling hot where people drew descriptions of what they were seeing. And they said they saw people glowing like coal.
Oh my
glowing like coal, bro. You know how hot your fucking body gotta get to glow like some coal, bro?
Man, bones is just bright as hell.
It's just bright. And you ain't. Hey, those through fear and trembling Lord was persuading them, bro. If y'all got some
I'm just gonna right here in the KJV.
Oh, you want to read that part over to the stubbornness? Is that the definition?
Yeah, you want me to read the?
Because we touched on the witchcraft, and also says right here, stubbornness is as the iniquity of idolatry. So let's see the definition of stubbornness, man.
This is stubborn KJV means it's just the AI overview. In the KJV, stubborn means unreasonably obstinate, fixed in his own opinion, not to be persuaded, stiff-necked, rebellious, and resistant to Yahawashi command.
And what did the brother just quote? Through the terror of the Lord we shall persuade men. You know? And what did it say? Jake doesn't get persuaded from this. He hears this shit and laughs, scoffs, and mocks. But that's going to be to your detriment, bro, because you're seeing World War III happening. You're seeing these prophecies crack off. You're seeing the dollar lose its power. You're seeing these wars getting really ready to start, cracking off. Hey, they just opened up the draft again, man. What do you think they did that for?
In Germany too.
Yeah, what do you think they're doing that for? Just to look strong? Hell no, your ass is gonna get ready to go out there to go fight, man. What, in World War III? You know, Second Ezra the 15th chapter, Second Ezra the 16th chapter, all coming to pass, man, prophetic book. And guess what? It's coming.
You know, the starting point, all the starting point to the eventual breaking point. Starting point to a breaking point. Hey, in order for the end to get here, it has to start from somewhere. It has to start from somewhere. So when you see all nations drafting and they doing military exercises, that's not just because they just doing this shit. Just to do it. That shit costs money too. They're not just spending that shit just to do it. It's because eventually the Most High is gonna draw them into that damn third world war. Which is going to be the war to end all wars. The war to end all wars because it's going to be nuclear. In the book of Ezekiel it says, strong like there have been ever the light. Because going back 2,000 years ago, going back 100 years ago, nobody had the capability to drop a bomb or something and melt everything in that damn city. Now they have that and they exceeded that. Right? This is the most dangerous time in history. When you seeing all these different indications happen, you got all type of shit stirring up, right?
Man.
It's like you got a cup full of Hennessy, Julio, Jose Cuervo, motherfucking Coca-Cola. You got all this shit. Mix all this shit and drink it. It's gonna fuck your stomach up. This is basically what it's leading to. It's gonna fuck up the stomach and shit, and it's gonna be shit everywhere.
Hey, Cambodia and Thailand are back out fighting again after our supposed peace deal, man. All these peace and safety ass, peace and safety. Hey, we're gonna handle this. We're gonna stop the fight for a little bit. Hey, that's all for them saying for them to buy themselves a little more time, man.
And then not too long ago, it was talks about China invading Taiwan.
Exactly.
Hey, I mean, they can do that any given moment. know what
And
I'm
they already
saying?
have their ships already still stationed. Right? They don't just have a station
Russia has their ship station right there
at Taiwan too.
Yeah,
Because they know that if China invades Taiwan, then the U.S. has to go to war. But who's backing up China or Russia? So it's not as simple as Jay makes it out to be. The thing is that the Most High is putting the spirit on these these presidents to go ahead and start setting up themselves to really just. They have nothing but to go to. They have nothing but to go to war, man. They don't have any escape plan because what? They're all looking for the same resources, and it's the spirit that only Taiwan is the main producers of these chips. Why would the Most High have it to? It goes to show you that, man. The Most High really control this whole thing, man. One main nation that all these other nations can't get anywhere else but this place, and who's all fighting for it? Russia, China, U.S. Man, the BRICS versus NATO. But then again, the NATO's gonna turn on the U.S. as well.
Yeah, so as the brother was saying, it's
It's inevitable.
Jake thinking that this shit's going,
Nah.
just take off like that. No, bro, because this, imagine like a boxing match. You got two people in there, and we ain't talking about this shit where they just in there going head up on some crash. No, we talking about where they playing a chess match in that damn boxing match, where they know if they throw this shot, it's a possibility they can be countered.
They can die, bro.
Where they avoided certain exchanges and blows and shit. When you see two high-level elite boxers, like Bud Crawford, he's not just in that bitch throwing blows, no. He's not gonna put himself in a fire exchange that he knows he's not gonna win. It's the same thing with these nations, bro. They all have nuclear capabilities. America and Russia is like the top superpowers and everything, but they're not just gonna kick off and start shooting missiles at each other because of what? The consequences that can come behind it. That's why the Most High is going to have to put the spirit on you, bro. The Most High is going to have to put the spirit on him to get this shit going, bro. And you see he's doing through minor steps, bro. Not even minor, bro. This shit is major. Major steps, bro. It looks small to the world, but it's major steps in the spirit, bro. Go ahead, Slack.
No, I was just trying to say, all these countries, they're doing strategic war plans, man. Because they want this shit to elevate. I just wanted to, they're doing it with strategy, though, They're doing it for a reason, for a cause, man. Because they want shit, they want to bring in that digital all, man. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh coming, for it is nigh at hand.
It is nigh at hand.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever light.
And that great people was talking about the nuclear missiles. And what do people in the world like to say? I can't wait till Jesus comes back. I can't wait for God to come back and unite us all together and bring us all together so we can all hold hands and just be hugging up on each other. Fuck no. When the Lord comes back, he's coming back with the sword, man. Jake has it so, they're so Christianized and Roman Catholicized that they think that when the Lord comes back, he's going to come back with hugs and handshakes. Fuck no. He's going to come back with a sword. Go for that.
And that's the spirit because as I was coming to camp, I was watching the elders of Mississippi. And the elders, because I was talking about how whatever the government opened up or whatever, they started issuing out like food stamps. Because I was talking about how Jake was talking about, yes, God has answered our prayers. We've been praying for this. And he started touching upon how Jake wants you to desire the day of the Lord because you got niggas that's living in the spirit of they want Yahawashi to come or what they call it, Jesus to come back, but you in a totally fucking wrong spirit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got wicked ass niggas talking about they can't wait for the Lord's return. What end is it gonna be for you? As a matter of fact, let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, actually.
You got it?
Yeah, this book of Amos 5 and 18, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Woo. So what end is it for you?
To what end is it for you?
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. Jake, is so easy to say, I can't wait till Jesus, quote unquote, comes back. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. What do you not understand? That's why you guys got to get out that Christian church, bro. It's going to lead you to hell, man. And hell is what? Synonymous to the ICBM nuclear missile, man.
Yeah, y'all basically end up getting babied. Babied in the
patted on
church.
their back and shit for committing wickedness and shit, bro.
Basically just getting rubbed on the back and shit, getting burnt. You know what I'm saying? For being a wicked motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, Joel chapter 2 and 2, there had not been ever light, neither shall be any more of it.
The other precept, I go,
Verse.
no, the other precept,
Come. This is the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I come to set peace on earth. I came to not set peace, but a sword.
But a sword, man. And what is that sword? We're going to bring it out in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. It's really going into the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. And then on top of that, you're going to have his own chariot in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, or the 7th chapter, going into the Lord releasing, flames out of his own chariot. But nonetheless, you got
Joel chapter 2, verse 3. A fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burning.
a flame burning. Go for it.
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing shall escape them. That escaping them is talking about the nuclear missiles, man. And the reason it says the Garden of Eden before them is because what? Things look nice right now. You can go to places, AZ's really dry as a desert, but you can go to places like Cali, Oregon, Flagstaff, and things look nice and, flourishable plants. They got, certain, holidays where they be setting up the lights on and shit. Shit looks
They have
clean.
the skyline.
Yeah, they have the skyline and all that.
Skylines in these different cities and shit. You know what I mean? You got, you can go to the walk, the boardwalks.
Yeah, the boardwalks and all that.
shit.
Yeah.
It look alive.
It has a sense of, that Garden of Eden feel. It has that sense.
Like I remember when we at the proper sign. Y'all know that club right across from where we proper sign.
Right there,
where they be in there dancing. And
Flagstaff?
shit. Nah, in San Diego.
Oh, instead of
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Right there, Missy Beach, bro.
This shit looks like it's like the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? It's you got places flourishing, it's lively. Alright. But that's how it is before the missiles hit here,
Exactly,
because when the
bro.
missiles hit, this shit gonna be a lot more devastating. Like Jake, most of these niggas in the world don't know, can't even grasp what the fuck a missile gonna do. That's why they don't take it that serious. You know what I'm saying? Jake think a missile just gonna boom, blow up a building. Couple of buildings. Nigga, that shit gonna burn up miles and miles and miles of cities with hot, excruciating fire, right?
And if the fire don't destroy you, the radiation gonna fuck you up.
And the thing is, the Most High is gonna make that fire destroy your ass because the Most High said that your death, if you don't die in Jacob's trouble, you're gonna die by flames, bro. There is no way around that shit. You're gonna die by the flames, bro, if you don't repent.
Real quick, before you get that, let me back over. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 12 and verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. The brother talked about how the Lord's going to come back with a sword. So this is what his weapon is. Verse 6, How yea, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, man. So, hey, the Most High is going to humble you via these ICBM nuclear missiles. And they said what? They looked at one at each other with astonishment, man. Because what? You guys didn't really think this shit was going to come to pass, and that's in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. If you want, I can bring that out too if you guys want to go into that.
Y'all brothers wanna bring it up?
I got this one too, just to
Bring it up,
keep
bring it up.
backing up on, to show you, hey, the second death is going to be a fire, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is the second death, man.
Coming into these nuclear missiles.
Y'all
Which
go ahead.
the second death, it's gonna be, as the brother was getting into, via the way of thermonuclear missiles. And this is something that I was hearing about ever since I was, since I was younger and shit.
Hey, we used to watch movies. Look at the movie Terminator and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, and so, I mean, really, bro, the Most High uses fire and water as cleansing agents, but those two elements alone should put fear in your ass to not get on the Most High bad side. Because Jake got some shit called, what they call that shit? It's not called aquaphobia, but I forgot what it's called. You got Jake, that spirit of water.
Like deep waters, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I bet you 9 times out of 10, if Jay get burnt, you gonna move, and if I keep trying to burn you with something, you gonna keep backing up and running and shit. you should carry that mindset dealing with the Most High, bro, because the Most High used water the first time. This, and I'm talking about water forceful that you can't even comprehend. Imagine trillions and trillions of motherfucking gallons of water just pouring out from the heavens on top of you. You know what I'm saying? You probably have people getting unalive because of all that pressure hitting.
Pressure, yeah, just pressure hitting, yeah.
You know what I mean? But just imagine, and that's the spirit of the Edomites looking at shit. Hey, y'all listen to outside Shalom, they don't take this. But anyway, the fire, bro. Imagine you just, you know how like when you younger, bro, and you gotta jump in it, and your mama make you like bath water, and that shit get loose, so I see jumping in there, that shit burn the fuck out you, that shit. You know what I mean? Imagine what the missiles is gonna feel like, bro. You know what I mean? But Slide, go ahead.
Hey, what the brother was trying to say is called thalassophobia, man. You know?
Yeah, having a deep fear of deep water. I got that shit. You know what I mean? But just imagine having to deal with flames, bro. You know what I mean? Having to deal with flames, you know, where there's no running away from that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no cooling yourself off, no stop, drop, and roll. Trying to put the fire out, trying to patch yourself. Ain't gonna be none of that shit, bro. And there's no telling, hey, because we was touching up on, you probably fuck around and burn up in like, you know, a couple of seconds, a minute or so, but to you and your spirit, it's gonna feel like a damn eternity, bro. Alright.
Here's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run.
Because of the power, bro. You know, horses like they run. When you look at when you watch these medieval movies, or even watch a movie like 300, or even watch what the fuck is that shit?
Let me take a picture, man.
It's all good.
But anyways, or watch like Troy. You see whenever they on that battlefront and they running with their horses.
With the seat of horses.
You know what I mean? That's basically how the prophet was basically giving a description on how the missiles was gonna be coming over.
Sounding, bro, yeah.
And how they gonna be sounding like a jet, bro. When you hear a jet, that shit like a bunch of like horses running, bro.
Like a stampede.
Like thousands of horses just running, bro. You know what I mean? What you think the missiles are gonna be roaring in the skies, bro?
And horses in the scriptures is synonymous with power, man.
Come, bro.
God. It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array.
You know, it's not actually talking about horsemen and actual chariots, because neither one of those can cause stuff.
More people battling.
Neither one of
Because
those.
guns are loud, man.
Yep.
It's talking about fire. The fire of nuclear missiles going into what every angle is going down.
Yep.
Verse 6, before their face the people shall be pained, all faces shall gather blackness.
Because what? When you see those nuclear missiles being shot, you just see them from a distance, bro. You're just like, no fucking way they shot this shit, bro. No, this isn't a man. Like you look at the nuclear missile from, and that's just coming from Russia. We're able to see it from right here. You know what I mean? That's just coming from fucking Russia, China. Just there's no fucking way they launched this.
Another thing too, people think Russia that far away. Russia not that far away. Yep. Russia and Alaska had a connection, but they broke it off because you had what they call the Kodiak Bear or some shit. The dire bear. It was heavily populated in that area, so they had broke it off to basically prevent them from like, you know what I mean? But Russia is not that far away from America, bro. Right? It's right there by Alaska. You know what I mean? So it ain't shit for them to.
And this society of seeing that, bro, like they really launched the missile. Imagine how they them folks at Hiroshima and Nagasaki were, bro, and hearing that shit. And then we got what ICBM missiles, bro. You can see the little tail of it. You know that little smoke tail coming up. Nah,
and that's probably like in that movie X-Men, man, where they shoot all the nukes and Magneto.
Yeah, because.
You know, but that ain't gonna happen with Magneto.
Yeah, it goes into it.
Because you're gonna be seeing missiles leave. You're gonna be seeing missiles leave from here, and you're gonna see them stars falling on time. Imagine that shit. Because the scriptures talk about like how the stars are the constellations, or the stars shall fall from heaven. You're gonna see them missiles coming fast up, bitch, in a form of a glowing ball.
Hey, Colin, that's a
coming and just.
I had a dream about that too, but it was like the chariot shooting down laser beams, the red fucking orb just fucking destroying shit, bro. As soon as they were hitting the earth, it was destroying, it was obliterating everything, man.
That's in Isaiah 65th
You know,
chapter as well.
the chariots are gonna destroy too, man.
They're gonna be in there as well too. That's gonna be the final shebang though, as the ICBM missiles, man, seeing them shits. And the thing about the difference about the UFOs or the chariots that you people, or the UFOs that you people know, man, is that you actually know that the nuclear really exists. Nuclear missiles truly exist. You know that they've been shot before, they've been laid out before. People still on edge about, or people still believe that chariots don't even exist, bro. Even though the government has came out and said that they exist, whatever. You know, but one thing you can't say about a nuclear missile is what? That they don't exist, man. You know.
So Joel chapter 2 verse 7, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
And no one's gonna stop these nuclear missiles. No, there's no what's the word it was called? The defense mechanism?
Oh, the Iron Dome and shit like
The
that?
Iron Dome isn't gonna be working.
It's anti-missile systems,
Yeah,
man.
those
You know,
anti-missile systems. You gotta go for it.
these missiles are hypersonic, man. They cannot be detected on radar, man.
And they actually fly low too. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they fly so high.
Some of them do fly low too by the ocean.
By the ocean, but the Satan II missile flies so high actually, and they can't be
They
detected.
literally go into the earth,
Yeah, to space.
into space, and then once they reach over that target, then they
They use the gravity.
then that shit starts dismantling, and the motherfucking warheads start to come down.
And one warhead contains like 12 of them. That's why.
One missile contains up to 12
Up to 12
warheads.
warheads. That's what I'm saying. So like when you go into the 100,000 of missiles, the thing is it's not just counting for the missiles. It's talking about every single warhead that's going to be laid out, man. Because what? Then again, could have just been John the Revelator just putting a number to it, throwing it out there and being like, it was just a lot. You feel me? It was just a lot. It might not be exactly 100,000, because what, 10 is a complete number as well too. So hundreds and hundreds of thousands, it's just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So he's just seen a lot of them, bro.
They're not gonna have a literal, you know what I mean? They're gonna have. It's gonna be a whole lot of missiles.
It's gonna be a whole lot, yeah.
To where this shit is completely
crazy.
In an hour, bro. And you know how big America is, bro? It's big.
That's why they contain 12 warheads, bro. Because each of them warheads can destroy a damn city.
Hell yeah.
A small city.
They said one of them could fucking knock out all of New York. Oh, so like all of Texas.
Oh yeah, the state missile
yeah,
too.
the same missile. He said, and Texas is what, the biggest state in the whole U.S.
And I even heard some shit where one missile, Satan had, not Satan. They have another Satan missile that can destroy like one half of the United States.
I know what you're talking about.
Don't know how true it is.
But then again,
it's out there in the talks, and we know that the Most High has blessed them with technology for His indignation, for the Most High's anger.
Because at the end of the day, it's the Lord the one that's making this, bro. The scriptures say that I created the ways to destroy, man. Or you want to get that? I blow the Smith. Let's put KJV, blow the Smith.
I think Isaiah 54:16.
I think it's Isaiah 54. One of the last verses.
Yeah, but those weapons, it's not just because to give Esau the power, but also because the Most High is going to basically live by the sword, you die by the sword. The Most High is going to make this man's own demise come upon him by his own blessing with that type of technology. You know, Oppenheimer, like we touched upon last camp, Oppenheimer, Salaki, whatever he is, you know, when that successful nuclear tested in New Mexico in 49 or some shit, 1950. You know, he knew then that they fucked up by creating that shit.
Hell yeah.
He knew like,
it's over with.
This is gonna be the end of humanity right here with this shit right here. Because of the power that it contains. It's because the Most High, that's the Most High's indignation, bro. You think the flood was bad, bro? This is gonna be next level extinction. You know, the Most High, he had made a name for himself in Egypt.
Exactly, bro.
Egypt, when he had, he knocked out Pharaoh and played him and all that shit.
And the spirit is, bro, is that he knocked out Pharaoh once the Lord had given him the most power he has ever had. Same thing with Esau, Edom. He gave him these nuclear missiles, so Esau, Edom in his mind, nobody can stop him. But guess what? That's what the Lord does on purpose.
Hey, when he shall fill his belly?
Yeah, but the Most High, he does it on purpose, like it says in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. The same reason I have lifted you up, Pharaoh, is the same reason I have lifted you up, Esau. It's just so I can show my power in you. He's going to use this nation of people so that the Most High can show his power and what? Bring fame back to the name of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, and fear to him. And what? His men.
Yeah, that's how you know this nigga's the most proud, because I remember a couple of years back, elders was bringing it out. I'm not too sure what source they got this from, but I remember the elders was bringing it out on how Esau had basically, he did something. He tried to open up a portal to the heavens and try to send a missile to the Most High throne or some type shit. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
And I believe it too. You know what I mean? And he tries to betray himself to be the Most High.
Yeah. So this is the second chapter.
But that's why the Most High is going to humble the shit out this nigga.
Yeah, because the thing about the Most High is he's the one that gave you that Esau.
Imagine trying to send a missile at the Most High. That shit wild.
The one that gave you it.
Operation Fishbowl looking at.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit wild. That's how you know this nigga is going to have to go.
Real. Isaiah 54:16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy.
There you go. The only reason the Most High allowed these Edomites to go ahead and create the nuclear missiles is that what? So that he can destroy you. That's it. And really destroy your empire. Because at the end of the day, none of you guys are going to go extinct once the ICBMs was hit. You know, everybody's going to be alive.
Because we're going to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven.
There you go.
You know, we're not going to build up our own kingdom. You know, we're not going to be sweating the kingdom after sawing wood and shit.
Hell no. Picking up big bodies and
Out
shit.
there welding and molding metal and shit. We're not going to be none of that shit. We're not going to be doing none of that. We're going to get you to do that. You know, we got to do it for your ass.
For years.
You know what I'm saying? For centuries.
For free.
You know what I'm saying? For free. You know, even now we work. Like, we ain't making no motherfucking money. Like, they gonna getting paid pennies. You know? We down there working for free. We gotta get this shit right back to you, man.
Then we gotta pay taxes on
And
taxes.
we got to pay taxes on top of that.
For some shit we ain't even responsible for.
We get taxed for our paycheck, and once you get taxed for that paycheck, you buy groceries, you get taxed on the groceries, and then you gotta put gas and you get taxed on that. Bro,
Depending on what state you in, your ass gotta pay for plastic bags.
hey, we even got you now, bro.
That's
Sprouts, 10 cents a bag.
This is just a unrighteous ass rulership.
And that's how I know Esau was a hypocrite too, because he uses that as what? Saving the environment, something nice. One time he's dumping mad toxins and poisons in the ocean.
Like he builds up his factories next. He purposely builds up factories next to streams,
Next to
rivers, and rivers.
yeah.
To pollute.
Hey, look at fucking The Simpsons, man. You know, they gotta show you too, man. You know, that's always a predicted program.
And Jamie to get off that dumbass shit, they predicted it. No, they're not.
They not
Technically, nigga.
They not predicting shit.
These niggas be stupid. They predicted it. Nigga, who you think running The Simpsons? Who you think these directors are under the control of putting that these scenes?
You can actually search up the directors and so of these different shows, and they all go back to Freemasons. So they're all Freemasons.
And I mean, they have to be connected on some type of level in order for them to be showing you it before it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all those little 9/11 posters and like shit that was happening back then, you know, little exposing how they knew it was gonna happen. Of course they knew it was gonna happen because they had it set up. There was no such thing as predicting this shit. They already knew that shit was gonna happen that day. You know, that little fake. They predicted this. They predicted, man. They stupid, bro.
They ain't predict shit. They're just showing you before they do it.
Exactly, bro. They just showing you what they doing before.
Because that's the type of sorcery that Esau practices. Right? It becomes that much more powerful when they show you it, and you basically show a blind eye to what they showing you in plain sight. You know what I mean? It becomes that much more powerful because they throwing it out there for you, but you're ignoring it.
It's actually it's a ritual that they do. It's called something that
Karmic law.
The karmic law. So if they show you what they're gonna do before they do it, and you people just sign it or just shun it, whatever, then guess what? To them, they think that okay, we showed you what we're gonna do. You people didn't do anything about it. We can go ahead and do it, and then they come back to us. And it's just that's fake. You know, nonetheless, they still gonna pay for everything they did. That's just the way that they operate, man. On the left hand side. You know.
Can we continue reading Joel 2? We got it. So Joel chapter 2, verse 7. No, this is chapter 8, Salakia. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path. And when they shall, verse 8, Salakia. Joel chapter 2, verse 8, Salakia from the top. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path. And when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Talking about the missiles hitting their target, man. The Lord's gonna have them hit their target on the exact same spot as He wants, man. Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Verse 10, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
And that's how you know it's not talking about a guy running into someone's house and looting it. That's how you know, because what the fuck? No, it's going into what? The nuclear missiles walking, the fire going into. When you ever watch those videos when it comes to those nuclear missile tests,
They consume everything.
where it goes into, and there's like that little reverb, like you can see it goes into
the winds.
Yeah, the wind, it goes into the whole house.
Shockwaves.
Yeah, they go to shockwave, everything, boom, it hits the house, and then when the flames hit it, it just defiles every little corner of it. And what did it say? It says it's gonna quake. You know, the earth is gonna quake before it. So that's how you know it's not talking about people running into someone's house. All right. And what's gonna happen? The scripture said that in the book of Isaiah as well too, that the earth is gonna, what's that one place?
Move to and fro.
Move to and fro. There you go. Move to and fro.
Isaiah 24 and 22, I think 22,
You want to get that back that point up because what? These nuclear missiles, they gonna realize, and I was talking about the waves too. When these nuclear missiles hit, bro, it's gonna cause tsunamis, bro. And you know, Jake, we still scared of that shit, bro. Imagine seeing a big ass fucking tsunami come forward off of a nuclear missile, man.
You think when that levee broke the Hurricane Katrina, they were scared and shit and all that. Imagine a tsunami where waves reaching 100 feet.
Man, nothing compared, bro.
Finna sweep some shit up.
Jake, I mean, they're not gonna be able to because Most High is gonna preserve the body. But normally, you have a heart attack just seeing a wave that big, bro, coming at you, bro. You see the shadows of the fishes in there and shit from the back of the nuke.
Sharks.
Yeah, sharks and
Whales
shit.
and shit.
Whales, see shit from the back because you know how a nuke it has that.
Yeah.
We have the light shining
Yeah.
through. You can see the shark. Hell, even that big ass seaweed. You see that shit all crazy shit.
All type of crazy ass shit, man.
While it's rumbling, bro, while the earth is cracking and breaking around you, bro, Jake is gonna, bro, and then Leviathan's in the mix too. Hell no.
Leviathan's so big, bro. Leviathan's so big, bro. He's calm. The water that's falling off him is causing
tsunamis and waves.
I remember a brother had a dream, man. It was cold ass.
Oh, I remember that.
We was talking about the Leviathan came out of the water.
And he said that the water that was coming off him was wiping up the streets and shit, cleaning up everything.
Flooding the streets and shit. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for that shit. And then the thing is what? Hey, Leviathan's gonna be in league with us Icons, bro. That's mighty, bro. That's mighty. And we'll be in those numbers, bro.
Hey, command Leviathan, kill that motherfucker.
Nah, hell nah, nigga, through the spirit. If I see Leviathan, I'm running away. If I see him in the day, hey, I'm about to see that spectacle from a distance. I'm pushing. You just gonna hear the screaming, and you got the screeches in the distance.
Nah,
Flames.
Hey, that atomic breath.
Hey,
Real plastic,
I got you right here. This book, Isaiah 24 and 20. It's saying, I'm gonna start at 19. It says, the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moving sealed. You know what I mean? Because of the devastation that those missiles are gonna cause. And as those missiles are destroyed, shit, they're also gonna be, the earth is gonna be renewed, bro.
Yeah.
Right, because we touched up on how water is a cleansed nation and fire is a cleansed nation as well. So I remember the elder Zach was touching up on this a couple of years back. You're gonna have new land masses being formed.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have crystals and different precious stones and ornaments being formed and things of that nature like that because the earth is gonna be renewed with that fire, bro. Right? But with that, in order to get the beauty, the bad has to happen, the ugly has to come first. And we know that at first that shit's gonna be breaking shit up. You know what I mean? That shit's gonna be all the big ass skyscrapers these other nations got, everything in America will be wiped clean. Clean from off the foundation of the earth because the scripture says that I will not leave neither root nor branch.
Yeah.
All of this shit is gonna melt. Whatever you see around you, it's gonna melt. Alright.
And you definitely know it's gonna make new minerals and different crystals because not only when that shake hits, and those missiles touch, it's gonna have a different heat to it, but also those volcanoes that are under the earth, they're gonna wake up. So you're gonna have a heat that the earth has probably never even reached before. And the thing about heat is that's how a lot of these stones are created through heat. They're under the crust. So when you have a new type of heat touching the earth, via the ICBM nuclear missiles that are gonna be shot from Russia and these other nations to the US, it's gonna cause this earth to wake up and shake the earth, and then the whole volcano's gonna wake up. Why you having the nukes? So you can have just heat all over this motherfucker, bro. bad. So the earth is gonna experience something new.
It's gonna be it's basically gonna be resetting. The settings are gonna be reset.
Man, I can't wait.
Hey, it's gonna be a beautiful destruction.
Yeah, I can't
Man,
wait,
bro.
man. I can't wait.
And they even talking about how they found a new continent other. I don't know
Yeah,
if y'all
see
seen
that.
that.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Come on, bro. Imagine, bro, like
Yeah.
in the kingdom we have a new continents and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like
they definitely did find some shit, bro. The thing is what? We gonna have, bro.
We're gonna find it first.
we gonna, and the Most High can raise that continent up
Well, exactly.
and give us access to that in the kingdom. You know what I mean? Different other continents. The Most High can form a different continent if he wants to. You know what I mean? That's how cold, man. Come on.
That's gonna be so far out, bro. It's gonna be planets where you just can't even live in it because everything's alive. I just got done watching the movie Predator, and when he landed on that planet, the thing about that planet was everything was just OD. Everything was trying to. The vines were alive, like the tree vines were trying to kill you. The grass was extra sharp and just sliced through anybody. It was crazy. The animals there, that shit was just OD, bro. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how the Most High can really just make anything happen. But the scriptures say, is there anything where it may be said that it is impossible? You know, the scriptures say that because what? The Most High can make anything happen, bro. Anything. You know, you can't put Yahawashi in a box, bro. You know,
Yeah, the Most High is far out. You know, far above your imagination. Like he said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and your thoughts ain't my thoughts. We ain't shit with just dust. With they say we use what, like 10% of our brain or some
10%,
shit?
yeah.
The Most High, his brain is the Most High's brain. Not that the Most High has brain cells. But
Yeah.
Speaking from a carnal sense, his brain cells are infinite.
Yeah.
Right? The Most High has. He knows all things.
And to be honest, bro, we'll probably use like 2% because of all the damn foods that we be eating.
Fluoride and all this
bullshit, bro.
bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We really be at 2%. And then compared to the Most High, we like at 0.00001%.
Shit, not even fresh.
0, 0, 0, a million zeros before you hit that one,
We
bro.
talking about the power that created
Us.
tree bark, and even Esau himself says that tree bark isn't even. There's no other life form in the galaxy that has tree bark.
Damn.
Like Earth does. It just goes to show you fucking
Oh,
water. You can't create water, bro.
Yeah, real quick too. If the Earth was 1 centimeter closer to the sun, we'll burn up. If we're 1 more centimeter away, we'll freeze to death, bro.
Yup.
Go to show you how, bro. The Most High is perfect.
Bad.
Yup.
My-
And the Most High was what controlling the angels, Elohim, to go ahead and make this. Because this is throwing out there, give a little bit of edification. Because I watched your brother, breaking down Genesis earlier today. When you go to Genesis, you read the book of Genesis, the first chapter, the second chapter. Jake gets that word, God confused, man. Gets that word God confused and think the Most High is out there.
You're talking about Elohim.
Yeah,
They think that's referring to a title of the Most High. When Elohim in the Hebrew is Allahayim, which means powers.
So it goes back to the angels. And
The ones that were written in the book of life.
And the only time you see the name Lord, like all the caption Howard, is in the second chapter. Because that's when the Most High dealt with the Adamites and decided to give them what? His image. And that image was what? His ways of life, his laws. Not physical appearance as Jay likes to go ahead and put it in. He made it like this is his image. No, it's talking about the ways of the Adamites were the first ones to go, because there was already people and nations living there.
Because if people don't go off that concept of how he made us in his image, like then that would mean that the Most High technically does have an image,
Yeah.
right? He has a particular look, right? You know what I mean? But that's not what that's, and he does have.
He does have a particular look. Revelation, the first
What?
chapter.
That's
And Daniel
about to get into. Yeah, that's not even what that's going into.
Yeah.
That's going into going into the Most High establishing a covenant
His order.
with the sons of God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is us through the reincarnation state, which is the sons of God was none but just Jake.
It's just Jake, yeah.
Jake with a different title. Y'all got anything else y'all want to bring up?
Now, we close out with Matthew 24 and 13. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. That's the mindset that you gotta have in this. If you have the mindset of you only gonna be around when shit is going good, then the Most High eventually gonna lean your ass out.
Or when shit's going bad too. Jay likes to come into the ministry when shit's already hitting the
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh,
when shit going, because to us it's good. in the
Yeah,
spirit.
con.
It's good to us. You know what I mean? Us in the know. So you got Jake that'll try to come around and try to, but then fuck around and become hella lukewarm whenever shit start, you know.
Yeah, getting back to normal, sort of
Nah,
saying.
bro.
And that's that Christianity bullshit, bro. When Christians, only when shit's in the fan, or when they do some wicked ass shit, I'm gonna go on Sunday to church.
You know
That's the same thing as a Jake that, damn, bro, I've been off. I'm gonna decide to go to camp for like a month.
Or that's equivalent to like a Christian getting on social media and apologizing for some off shit they did in front of everybody.
In front of the whole congregation. And
that's,
that goes, the scriptures of Matthew the 5th chapter. When thou goes to pray, hide thyself in the closet. Don't be as a hypocrite that love to go and pray in the synagogue. Yeah, because what you have to reward these people. Now these people think you're righteous. Oh, look at me, cool. The Most High like, man, what the fuck? You gotta go ahead and pray to me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, niggas do shit like that to get attention.
Yeah, to get attention.
And a nigga will do some shit like that, trying to pray in front of everybody to make it seem like he holier than thou.
Oh my God.
Like trying to make everybody, but look, this nigga righteous. Pray him in secret.
In secrecy, bro.
It's supposed to be a conversation between you and the Most High in the heavens, not you and everybody else.
It says, pray me in secrecy, and I will reward thee openly. So you got to go into that closet, pray to Yahawashi, that's how you're lacking at, where you're going off at, and then go into the world and watch the Most High do His wonders. Don't be going out there and just trying to tell Jake and people in the world what you've been going through and all that. Man, but at the end of the day, we can't do nothing about it.
Hey, what's it called? A full event much.
And the precept that the brother had quoted was in the book of Matthew, and the book of Matthew is a part of the gospel. So you have people that be like, see, he do this in secret, then he will go reward you in the open. See, you're gonna be driving the cleanest car. You know how this shit goes. No, nigga, the gospel is about receiving the Rakakadash, the Holy Spirit,
the good news,
and the good news, and doing what? Receiving the kingdom of heaven.
Now we still able to receive.
That's how the Most High is gonna reward you openly, bro. Next thing you know, you're gonna be out there prophesying and teaching and things of that nature. Once that mustard seed, starts to sprout. You know what I mean? Because that's how each and every one of us in this truth started off. It's small as a mustard seed, but then it sprouts. But then going back to what the brother had pulled, he got a dirt to the den, the same shall be saved, bro. So in order for us to be saved, because nobody saved it, right? In order for us to get that goal, right, you gotta endure through this shit, man. Right? You gotta endure through the ups, the downs, the upsets, the spiritual highs, the spiritual lows, when it's prophecy booming like a motherfucker and things so-called go quiet in the spirit, nothing ever goes quiet. There's always something brewing up, especially in these times that we in there. That's why Jay gotta keep that shit in mind, bro. Don't get discouraged, because the Most High is gonna get shit cracking.
I got some couple scriptures before we close out. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangling himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. I got a little excited, man. Verse 4, no man that warreth entangling himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for mastery, yet he is not proud, except he strive lawfully, man. And we're supposed to be striving lawfully, man. That's it.
That being said, I don't reconcile. This lesson is edifying to the ears of the hopefully of the elect. Right? And that sacrifice always be set for the eyes of Yahawashi. So, with that being said, as usual, we'll end it off by facing the east, giving all the glory and praise to Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, everybody said the elders and the apostles, and millstone with a talk, and learn the truth 100% from. Peace and blessings be to you, what that serving Yahawashi, sincerity, hope for mercy, and salvation in these last days. With that, we say shalom, and Yahawashi,